Hi folks, this is all the fruit on the beautiful island of La Gomera, at the edge between the farmland and the national park, the Laurisilva, the laurel forest behind me. Actually, I'm really at the edge. When I go into the shade, here is the laurel forest, and here is something which looks like an abandoned orchard, or maybe it's just a slightly neglected orchard, but it's so beautiful with all those flowers and the sun that I decided to make a video and show you a little bit of the stuff we are here. Well, probably under 1,000 meters, but still quite high up on the northern slopes of the island of La Gomera. What do they grow here? Well, here there is a whole row of plum trees which are starting to flower now. We are in the first days of March. In front of those plum trees there is a St. John's wort tree, Hypericum. Yeah, actually we have trees of those here. And right behind this Hypericum is some strange fruit tree. I don't know what this is, with those big buds. This could be an apple tree, but it's not as stocky as the normal apple trees. Oh no, that's a cherry tree. That's a strange cherry tree. Oh, haven't seen many of those here. Oh no, wait, it's not a cherry tree. Okay, here I am now. It is an apple tree. Look, an apple leaf, one of the last leaves from last year, a couple more leaves. Yeah, it confused me because usually apples here they are pruned to a very stocky shape. But yeah, this is an apple tree. Let's see what else we can see here. Another apple tree, but growing in a completely different shape. Those two are both very unusual. Well, since I'm already up here, let's show you the flowering plum trees. They are starting to flower right now. And on the Canary Islands, just like on Malta, which has a similar subtropical climate, the plums seem to sucker freely, and so they establish themselves in a lot of areas. In moist areas like here, but on Gran Canaria I also found them in a very dry area. So, what else do we have in this beautiful orchard? Basically you can regard this as like a, well, I guess in Europe or North America, where most of my viewers are, it's still kind of winter or early spring, so you can regard this as a first sign of spring. Yeah, here they have a whole row of plum trees, really beautiful. Here more apple trees, lots and lots of apple trees. Some local laurel tree growing wild between them. Here in the background, old chestnut trees, and above them Canary date palms, which were used for their sap or juice. Well, here as you can see, most of the flowers, this is a, what is it, a marguerite? No, what is it called? I don't know, but basically here it's a shrub. Here a sonchus, which is basically something like a dandelion, is forming trees which are several meters high. Look, with trunks almost as thick as my leg. It's basically like a dandelion tree. Yeah, in the frost-free subtropical climate, a lot of plants actually form shrubs or trees. There are a couple of small St. John's wort trees, but here we have also big ones, like 4 meters tall. Here we have a nice apple tree. It's a pretty moist area. I think you can see this from all the lichen hanging on the apple tree. Oh, here is Canarina canariensis, the typical and some say the most beautiful flower of the Canary Islands. And the yellow stuff is some Cape sorrel, which is actually an invasive species. So beautiful flowers, but one of them is an endangered endemic plant and the other one an invasive. Here we have an echium. They call it tanginaste, and in Europe echium is usually a small herb. Actually, here we also have herb-like echiums. I just don't see one right now. But look, here it's a tree. It's a 4 meter tall tree. You can actually climb it. And the trunk is impressive and thick. It's amazing how those native plants are kind of taking over this old orchard. Here's a younger one. Look at those beautiful trees. And I don't really know what to call the video I'm doing right now, but it's just so beautiful, and this mixture of old agricultural stuff and wild trees and temperate or subtropical rainforest in the background. It's just too beautiful to not make a video and not share it with you. Look at that. What was echium called like in English? But look at the size of this trunk. It's like 1.5 feet thick, and in Europe those are herbs. Well, let's see what else we have here. Is this an apple or a pear tree? Here they have quite strange shapes, those fruit trees. Oh, here by the way, a bigger St. John's wort tree, which is almost 4 meters tall. Beautiful. Beautiful. And all the sun and the flowers. So it doesn't seem to be an abandoned orchard. They are planting something here, but this looks to be like a native tree. So it almost looks like they are trying to make this orchard back into a laurel forest. Another apple tree. This area is a little bit magic for me. Oh, old walnuts. So those are old walnuts with all the lichens hanging from them. Old walnut trees. This one's still completely dormant. The one behind it, I hope you can see it, behind this willow, already developing its leaves. What do we have on the lower terraces? Must be careful, there are rubble walls everywhere, so I must not fall. Down there, the fields are still being worked. Here another St. John's wort tree, a willow, couple willows. I wonder if they use them like people used to use them in Europe. If they use the willows for making baskets or stuff. I've never seen a willow basket on the Canary Islands. Here some of the date palms. Beautiful. What shall I call this video? How shall I justify showing you this video except that it's so beautiful and magic here in this orchard? It's basically like the spring in the Mediterranean. Here a willow, and behind it an almond tree. More walnut trees, but the thing on the other side that I call the chestnut actually seems to be a real chestnut. Here, this is a mandarin tree. Mandarin or orange, they could be mandarins, could be oranges. I don't want to go too close or people will think that I'm stealing from those trees. A carob tree. It really looks out of place. Carob is actually a tree mostly of the dry, sunny Mediterranean. Well, here it's sunny, but it's not rain. The carob tree looks very unusual for its... Well, I've never seen such a shape in a carob tree, but it definitely is a carob tree. Look at the leaves. It is a carob, even though I don't see a single carob fruit on it. Yeah, here in the background, maybe last but not least, an old chestnut. So it really is a chestnut, not a walnut like the other trees. Well, let's go back. So I guess this is not really abandoned, more like semi-abandoned. Oh, but here there is another strange orange, which has lost most of its fruit, and most of them actually lying on the ground. Yeah, some sort of orange, already rotten. Let's see what else have we got here. Maybe this is finally a pear tree. Is it a pear? Yeah, it seems that here we finally... Oh god, I'm not so sure. Why am I so confused? Well, this is a pear. This is not an apple tree. Okay. So here we finally got a beautiful pear tree. Well, folks, this was, what shall I call it? A beautiful orchard in the cold upper areas. Well, basically the limits of agriculture, limits between agriculture and the laurel forest or the rainforest, in a beautiful sunny spring day. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the incredibly beautiful island of La Gomera. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.